My name is Steven Jara, Air Force veteran, patriot, designer. So yeah, we're here under the wishing tree, but it's like point anywhere, right? You got downtown over there, you got Griffith Park over here. I like to go run in the mornings just down the same mountain range. And the campus is right here. I joined the Air Force at 18. My dad was in the Navy for many years. He retired from that. My grandpa, he was in the Army for many years and he retired from that. Public service is kind of what we knew. I'm so grateful for that experience. What it really showed me was not only how hard I could work, but it's like when the going is tough, go harder. Went over to Texas, North Carolina, Germany, really just exploring the world. So I took a job here at Seal Beach to check out the region. Looking for programs to study. I was just trying to find something that resonated with me. And I finally landed on architecture. Design for me is kind of the manifestation of an idea, whether it be physical, whether it even be spiritual. That was my early interest, and I think contributing to the built environment through architecture is what really captured my interest at the time. Getting exposed to some of this old, even ancient architecture, it's not only inspiring, but it's just so motivating. And you try to think about how do I contribute to this? How do I bring good to this? And how do you make a positive impact in this world? So at the time, I was looking for a NAB accredited program in the LA region, and really only a couple pop up. So visiting the schools, I think Woodbury was just the right fit for me. From that point, I loved every minute of it. Design to me is kind of everything. Some of the things that kept me at Woodbury was the peer network that we have, some of the most incredible designers I've met that keep me inspired, and really the faculty. It's like the instructors that we have access to, I believe, are just so important to that institution. Made mentors of them. It's like some of them have become friends, and I really appreciate that. The studio space is incredible, and it becomes a second home in a way. You'll spend all your time in the studio. So I think one of the great things about Woodbury is the kind of willingness to try just something different and not just the same old boring building. And I think fourth year in the spring, we had the opportunity with Patrick Geske to design a kind of architecture through an entity and setting up this kind of pseudonym to then design through, which signed me right up for that. That's what I was interested in at the time. And we got into it on that. So the project name is Sands of Time, architecturally exploring a sand scraper ossuary. Sand scraper kind of playing off the idea of skyscraper, kind of landscape that's constantly shifting. The idea that you could make use of that approaching sand for a structural scaffold. The ossuary side of that, the idea of a kind of natural communal burial or return to earth. Traveling out to that environment, you try to assess what might make sense here. You realize like this would be a really peaceful place to kind of leave this earth. You're sitting out there and you're wondering how on earth do you construct in this environment? When you actually get out there on foot, you're kind of navigating the landscape and you realize, oh wow, there's this flat spot that we identified. The idea of a tower structure, allowing the approaching sand to pass, but also indexing the height of that was kind of the key idea that the architecture seeks to address. We're setting up these kind of architectural pseudonyms, and that became this way for me to navigate design challenges where I don't have to think about it. It's just kind of what would Omen do, and in this case, it engages architectural history through writing, and it all kind of begins with this kind of stack of papers here, propaganda if you will, but this notion of reactive surrealism and the role of the architect kind of engages this idea of a slip form construction where the building is cast a section at a time, and then this part rises. This maybe adjusts to the angle of the dune. This building gets really developed in deep time. So if it's approaching a foot per year in one direction, we're looking at a good 50 to 100 years to get kind of one to two stories constructed. So it's the idea of an architecture of ritual. And I got the opportunity to present at the Grand Critique, which was an honor. Every year you sit down and you see these people graduating and you see this incredible work they're doing. And to be able to kind of contribute my message to that I'm very grateful for that. College life in LA, had some long late nights. Yeah, it's fun though. Yeah, it's things like that in this area that you really you can't even make it up. Yeah, it's like you have that opportunity and it's down the street. It's over there, it's over there. You want to go golf, you want to go hike, you want to go swim, you want to go snowboard. Yeah, and it's like this area is just, you have all that. The reality is this end came too fast. It's a 5-year program and I thought it was never going to end, but I fell in love with the process, and yeah, it's sad to reach this day now. So to the class of 2026, congratulations. You made it, we made it. We are here finally, and the journey is only just getting started. So let's take what we learned here and let's figure it all out. We are the builders of this future.